And I think the Rev can be one currency, the Bitcoin, the Ether, but I think that the difference is that currently our world is constrained amongst time and space, right? And so there are these nodes that are constrained amongst time and space. You call them governments, right? Most Chinese renminbi is used in China. Most US dollars are used in the USA. Most of the yen is used in Japan. But this whole system kind of opens up the possibility of there being a global value exchange like Bitcoin has kind of contributed to an Ether. But if RChain is so scalable as it may be, then um, how are you going to value someone who says I want to create a new staking currency, and let's say
No,
like
he's not talking about it can have any staking currency at all. I mean, there's some issues that there's some definite issues in the math behind doing an unlimited number of currencies. With respect to gaming and other things. So what Greg wants to do is essentially provide a bridge between the most prevalent blockchain currencies, okay, to make RChain somewhat transparent to those networks. And what it does, what it ends up doing is it's as if they went and bought revs. Okay, so
right, I get it. Yeah,
it's not doing any harm to accept it.
and then he's mentioned that he would to kind of give the Rev a leg up, because I could imagine that everyone just decides to use Bitcoin on the RChain infrastructure. One decides to use Ether on the RChain, and Rev could never take off. So he says he would give Rev a 10-to-1 preference for exchanging into phlogiston compared to the next highest ranking staking currency. He mentioned that. Do you remember that?
No, I don't. I don't understand that.
But that kind of makes that you don't understand that. Well,
no,
if there becomes this interoperability across Bitcoin, Ether, on an RChain, yeah. So I mean, who's to say that Rev will ever become anything valuable, because there's so many people already using Ether, you know? And so that's how I took it. And so his logic was, we'll give the Rev a 10-to-1 preference above and beyond whatever Ether is trading for and converting into phlogiston. Rev will have a 10x conversion into phlogiston, but only for 12 months. And I was thinking, well, maybe it should be for infinity or something, or I don't know what it should be for. I was just so confused. I mean, it's just like I can't wrap my head around it.
Complicated, but essentially,
and that's the problem. That's the problem I'm having in this email to this investor and my friend, because it's kind of like a technical thing, but it's so practically important, right? It's like all of the game theory and human behavior will and the adoption of the whole system depends on this like fundamental idea, and I'm not getting a clear answer in my head. But I agree with Greg's instinct to allow for multiple staking currencies. I don't see the implementation totally.
Yeah, well, see, the issue is that initially he's concerned about attack from Bitcoin or Ether, who has no stake in the value of Rev. Okay. So they would have an incentive to attack the network. Um, uh, and it's really us using Rev that should have the deciding factor. Okay. So we handicap the other currencies initially to make sure we have a firm hold on the consensus and can't be attacked by Bitcoin or Ethereum.
In that case, just 12 months doesn't seem like long enough time. And I'm thinking, why isn't it 12 years or 120 years? Why don't I think potentially, like I told you on the phone, I think if Ethereum is the Articles of Confederation and if RChain is the Constitution, we are not using any Article of Confederation currency these days. You know, there is the king in the US and in China, and it's and I don't know if we can allow. I honestly don't know if
and ultimately, I guess the collective is going to decide. I'm inclined to go with Greg's instinct that it can be done, and that what's happening with the proliferation of thousands of currencies is that the it's becoming
it's too fragmented. It's too fragmented.
It's not too fragmented. In fact, the more decentralized the monetary system is, and the more different coins, the less vulnerable it is. It is the monetary system, and it becomes less attractive to well, I don't know. I mean, there's, it's a complicated problem. But I think that, we will have millions of currencies. We want them to be interchangeable as easily as possible. If we can equalize them in 12 months, as Greg suggests, we should, that's where we want to be. Our consensus, the consensus mechanisms themselves have not been finalized or finished. And we can't really answer these questions until they are.
Right. Yeah, so it's tough. I'm not sure myself. I'm just thinking.
No.
I guess because you're saying it makes it safer when there are more different currencies. If you hack any one of them, you're not bringing down. No one is too big to fail, almost.
Yeah. Well.
But then there are transaction costs going from one to another. Maybe I don't know. I just don't. Yeah, it's cool. I guess going back to that instinct that we all share, I think I share the instinct to allow it, but I think, in my thought process, I think that naturally there will end up just being one kind of exchange for phlogiston. Kind of like even today in the world, dollar is king. Like even the Chinese central bank values its dollars more than their renminbi, and before it was the dollar, the gold was actually like the one the world cared about in a sense. But there are diamonds, there's platinum, there's silver, there's euro, there's dollar, there's yen, but I understand the movement is all for decentralization, which I'm so for. But I also think that order is very important too. And I wonder if fragmentation is different than decentralization. I'm all for decentralization, but I think fragmentation could be a bad like counterpart.
Well, I mean, we have a need for a common medium of exchange before we had computers. Okay, that's the reason why we have, you know, uh, 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 dollar is king or whatever, because a common medium of exchange allows us to uh, to conduct business, but a centralized currency can be controlled. Okay, and so it's never going to happen that there's going to be one currency that is trusted more than the others. I mean, right now in crypto, it's Bitcoin is the gold standard. Ethereum is the silver standard. Okay, and by supporting the gold and silver standards, RChain becomes more flexible in terms of its ability to do business, because it doesn't care whether it's dollars, yen, or francs.
Yeah, I like that. So what happens if after 12 months there isn't enough adoption? Is there a reason to extend that or to make it shorter? Well, how do you think about the 12-month
I think, you know,
peg?
we can't say until Casper's finished. We can't say. Okay, it could be we don't need it at all. Okay, you know, it'll come out of the math.
Oh, it's okay. I love math. That's great. All right. So I didn't send that email yet, but let's talk about what Gary was going to try and get me started on. I was telling Gary that I have no coding background.
Good. You won't be confused by Rolang, by what you've learned before.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, Jim, and I was trying to get around to the discussion of why would someone want to install Rosette at all?
Well, because it will be the Row VM for some time, and you know, we need to run the Row VM in order to run Rolang.
So everybody that runs RChain node will be guaranteed to be running Rosette VM.
Right, and for quite some time. Okay, and it's going to have a lot of limitations while they're building its replacement, which is going to be compatible with it.
Right. Well, Jacob, do you, so far, do you get a sense that it would be meaningful to you to learn something about Rosette? Okay.
I'm
well,
sorry. I think my sister just texted me. Oh my God. All right, let me open the door. I'm so sorry. Give me 2 minutes.
Okay.
No problem.
My sister's downstairs. I'm sorry.
Okay. I was actually going to share this. I was going to show, first where we were going. Our ultimate goal today would be to get right here and to see the magical 5+5 in Rosette.
Now, is this rosette running on a machine that can run all the time and be exposed?
I suppose it could. I did kill it for a spell yesterday and then started it back up.
Right. And even if it was just up sometimes, it might be worth exposing it so that we can try talking to it.
But Jacob, are you familiar with what you're seeing on the screen?
I started reading an online textbook on coding for beginners, but it was from this MIT group, and it explained to me how, you know, in coding sometimes, it wasn't for Rosette, but it was for a different language. It was explaining how sometimes you put the plus sign before the two numbers, so like I get that much.
Right. Well, that's the language Rosette, and that's a very simple example of the syntax of the language. Yes, you put the function as the first element of this list, and then everything else are operators or are being passed to the function.
Right. So
so basically, that's all you need to know about Rosette, other than that it's a special kind of language, computer language.
No, I'm busy. Sorry, guys. I'm literally busy. Sorry, guys.
The important thing about Rosette is that it is a concurrent virtual machine, or it will become a concurrent virtual machine, and it gives us the type of concurrency that we need to run RChain. And it's, as far as we know, it's the only realistic solution. So if you've gotten this far, that would be pretty much what we want to try to do today for you. But let me go to another screen here and show you the, ordinarily on our noob classes, we bring up this, this file. And can you see it?
Yeah, I see it.
All right, let me see if I can figure out how to scroll around on it. Okay, but at any rate, last time, or maybe 2 times ago, what we did was we got down to running Rosette on Windows, and the steps are right there in front of you in this Google Docs file, which you can actually link to, and I can put the link in the chat. And Jim, I think I've messed this file up a bit.
Well, unfortunately, we need to update some of the information and complete it.
Okay.
And, put the link in the chat. I mean,
yes, I will put it in the chat now. Having trouble finding the chat. I'm going to stop sharing the screen for a second.
That makes it easy.
I can't find the chat.
Yeah, it's under the 3 dots and your other choices. You gotta.
Okay, so there's the document that I'm looking at. And I think that's the one you need to be editing, Jim. I've, like I say, I've kind of messed it up a bit.
Yeah, well, this is the process we did last week.
Right.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to paste it in here, okay, for today.
Okay.
And if we can collaborate on notes, that would be wonderful, because I can't think and take notes at the same time. But a lot of people, I mean, most people can't, but I'm an extreme case.
Okay.
but we had the discussion of multiple staking tokens. We should have who's in there. Okay, so we're going to do this. We're going to change. I want to change this a little bit to so that we. What kind of machine are you running? Are you running Windows? Jacob?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so the first step is to install the VirtualBox. If you want to, you can share your screen so we can better.
You want me to share mine or Jacob share his?
Jacob should share his so that we can help him. He could, we can even do remote control if you get stuck, which is cool.
Yeah, no, I'm sharing it. Let's see if it works. Did that work?
Not yet.
All right.
You have to hit the button again, the other button again. You have to
okay.
which screen you want to share, and then hit the button share, and then top bottom right. There you go.
All righty.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm pretty good at following directions. So you want to watch and see if I'm as good as I think?
All right. Now, I don't know why we see black.
Because it's this wrong screen up here. Don't worry.
Oh.
I'm going to get it working. All right. Ready? Here we go.
And I'm going to update this to the way I think we should have done it. I mean, this worked. We ran it.
Yeah, I'm still having to play games to get mine to work. So it's not quite the way we want it, but.
Right. Okay, so we install Git. Okay, then we have to run Git bash. Then we have to do a make directory Git and a cd Git.
Guys, the download of VirtualBox is gonna take long because a lot of my internet bandwidth is stuck on this. Maybe should I maybe end the share screen maybe?
Yeah, you can turn off your
Let's see.
video also.
Yeah, let's try.
Yeah.
Although it's going in a different direction, so it shouldn't matter.
Oh, is it? Well,
Yeah.
no, it's going much faster now. It's still 10 minutes, but
Wow. That is very slow.
I think I need a new computer.
Okay, well, let's.
But let me walk you. Excuse me.
Do you have Windows 10 or Windows 7 or 8?
Let me find out.
I'm not sure that's important to know. I just happen to have 7.
I have 10.
I think I have Windows 7. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right off the bat, I don't know I could install things. That's not hard. When you say run git bash, does that just mean open it, right? And click run. I think that's easy, but I don't know what this direction is, number E. Oh, whoops.
You're going to be at the command line.
Okay, so I just enter it into the command line.
Right. Okay, you make a directory, Git. you change directory into that directory, and then you're going to do a git clone of the repository of the source code for the Rosette VM.
I got you. So it would be great if we could explain for myself and for future noobs like what each step is doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
Do you think so?
yeah, I ask questions. Okay. I think
So-
did you get what I meant by you make a directory? What's the, and then the git, cd git is changed to the directory you just made.
I guess it's such basic stuff that it doesn't require.
Well, I think it does need it. I think you should put it back. That was good. The only issue is should we make it a different color to distinguish it from what you type? But I'll do that.
Yeah, I could change the color. Sorry.
I'm changing. You're typing. I can change.
Okay. So make a directory. What's the cd git stand for?
Change directory to the directory you just made.
Alrighty.
Okay. Okay. And this is to get the source code for Rosette.
Off of GitHub.
That's pretty simple.
It says GitHub.
The next one I don't understand, or the next two I don't understand, Jim.
Did you do this in suggest mode?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's the problem. I'll do it in. I don't have editing privileges.
Right. You want to put your Gmail in the chat?
Sure, sure.
You have to log. It's okay to work in suggest mode, but yeah, if you have a Gmail account, so you might as well be able to choose edit or suggest. I like suggest mode, because it gives people a chance to say, "Oh, that's good. I'll accept that."
I'm fine working in either one. Up to you.
Yeah. I probably should do a screen share just so that people have something to look at in the video. They can see what we're doing. So I think I need this red already. Yeah, I need the red. Vagrant and knit. Okay, that just sets up your Vagrant virtual machine in this directory, I guess.
So what does vagrant mean? I assume init means in this directory, but what does vagrant mean?
No, vagrant, init means initialize.
Right.
As in begin?
It initializes the virtual machine. It sets it up.
Okay.
What does vagrant up mean?
Run it. Run the virtual machine.
Boot it. Or boot the virtual machine for the first time.
No. Where are we? You do a vagrant up every time. Okay, you only do the init once.
You only do the init once. Okay, let's go through this list the first time, and then let's talk about what we do later.
Right. Okay, we booted the machine. Now we do the vagrant SSH, and I should. And,
what is that?
I'm just adding Jacob as an author. You may have to reload the page. You're an author. Jacob.
All right.
Okay, so what are you asking about?
Why do we have to do a vagrant SSH here?
Okay, this gives you the command line on the virtual machine you just started.
In this directory that we happen to be in.
No, not exactly. It's in a normal login directory. And that reminds me, there's another step here. Okay. CD/vagrant. Okay, in other words, where you were is in the /vagrant directory on this virtual machine. So if you want to get back to that rosette source code.
Aha, okay, this is important.
Yeah.
So any changes I made the last session I was here in that source code are still like they were.
I don't think you did these steps I don't know if you did you do these steps of make dir get and cd get?
Yes.
Okay, so what we failed to do was go to the vagrant directory, and we had to get the stuff again. You ended up with an empty directory where you were, which is the home directory for the account named vagrant. It's like /user/vagrant or something.
I may try to go through this whole thing one more time fresh, so I could do it right one time.
Okay, and okay, this is oh, wait a second. I left out a step. Okay, then after you get the directory, you have to change directory to, oops, change directory. To,
oh yeah, rosette.
Rosette-VM.
You misspelled it.
Okay, so, right. Because that's where the rosette initialization, that's where the vagrant initialization file is.
Yeah, I always have to do that. I get an error if I don't do that.
Right.
But this next line, I don't have to do anymore, vagrant init, because my vagrant file is already there.
I'm sorry? Yeah, the vagrant init. I mean, yeah, this whole when you start again, you start with step J here. You're going to do a vagrant up. One the next time. Okay, or you know, there's a whole bunch of vagrant commands that you can do. And if you have more than one image, it gets a little more complicated because you have to say which one you're using, but it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, and you say start there the second time, but you've also got to run git bash and.
Right. Yeah. Obviously, you have to be in the git bash.
So what we need is two lists: one that we do the first time, and one that we always do the second time.
I guess the other thing is you can modify the code in your in Git or update it or whatever before you get to you want to. Well, I guess we don't need to know that yet. But essentially what it does is it mounts that directory that you started from the first time in the /vagrant partition, so that anytime you run that machine, you have the exact same files in Windows and in /vagrant. Where you were in Vagrant directory? No, in the git /
one S.
I don't know why I looked at two -VM. And Windows. Give the command, get to the command line. Why don't we be specific here and put in Ubuntu command line on a virtual machine that just started. Yeah, this is the one thing that we never got around to. We went through this whole thing a long time ago. If you go back in this log, you'll see other sets of instructions that have changed. Some of them closer to what we have now than what we did last week. Okay, so did your install finish yet?
1 second left. It just finished.
Okay, well, I think we're almost good for you to try this on your own. Let's we can finish up here. We have the sudo apt install. Okay, what sudo does is it does a super user do. So what you're doing is you're installing packages on the machine. You have to be administrator. So super user is administrator. Some of the commands we use end with a dash, so try to catch the dash in red.
Oh, wait a minute.
Gotcha.
Jim, why do we have step N and step G the same?
Okay, because we didn't change directory to /vagrant, we had to get a fresh copy. Okay, and Git is not required here.
Guys, I might get disconnected as I'm installing this, so if I do, I'll come back, okay?
Oh, yeah, you do have to boot one time, I believe.
Well, that's going to take some time. But anyway, should we just should we do it?
I think you should install all three packages, and well, I don't know that we have time to do that actually.
Yeah, I could just give you guys an update, like let you know that things all went well and I was able to do it. Or, I had problems and we could follow up maybe another time. How does that sound?
Yeah.
That sounds fine.
Yeah, we had a time scheduled actually for 9 a.m. tomorrow. You want to meet then?
Where is it scheduled? Is there a schedule we have or something?
I may have taken the 9 a.m. off the schedule because
It usually pops up in the news room. The calendar events pop up a little while before. I don't know if I think that one has been popping up the last few times.
I may,
Is that on the Slack?
Yeah.
I don't know if
you're probably not in the news channel.
I'm not. I don't think I am. Do I have to get invited, or it's supposed to just be there?
Oh, you could just join the news channel.
Yeah, you just click on the
Channels button.
it's the channels or I can just invite you. I invited you.
Thanks. That works. I don't know how to join channels that I'm not invited to. I need to learn how to do that.
You click on where it says channels at the top.
Oh, and I could browse channels. I see.
Yeah.
All right.
You might want to join the identity channel.
Yeah, I'm gonna join that now if I can. Let's see. Okay, I joined that. What else should I join?
I'm not sure yet. Co-op. Did you join the co-op?
No, because I'm trying to download my first Ether and to pay and fill out the Google Doc, but apparently people are hacking this Google Doc. I don't know if I want to fill it out.
The Google Doc is safe now. I don't know. Somebody, I think, I hate to say it, but I think somebody, we started these docs back when Scenario, before the split. And I think some people had permissions because I found a lot of documents with open world edit that had been protected. So somebody from the Scenario community, I think, went through our documents and made them all world editable. Because the documents were, came from the Scenario days.
But isn't that very concerning?
Well, yeah. I mean, now we have to make sure they're all locked down. I mean, most of the documents are new, so nobody from Scenario ever had access to them. And I think we've made a pretty clean sweep of the documents at this point that nobody from Scenario is in there. And Google keeps the complete history anyway. I mean, in terms of sensitive information, I'm sure there isn't any.
Well, I mean, I don't know what the form asks for. If it asks for my social security number, I just won't put it. Is that okay?
Yeah, you don't have to answer a lot of those questions at all. And you can wait until you've made over $400 from, but when you make over $500 from the cooperative, then you have to provide the information. You don't have to provide it now.
All right, so yeah, are there any other great ways to earn rocks?
Yeah, you're earning some rocks right now.
Speaking of what to do with rocks, what do you think about that distributed game platform that Christian posted in the random channel this morning? Would that be something that RChain Co-op could invest in, possibly?
I'll have to look at that again. I get all these things confused. There's a couple of these platforms that are looking very interesting for developing, basically providing interface to the enhanced reality of the RChain community. Is that what you're talking about, or just independently?
Well, I was just talking about, should we, so with some of the co-op controlled rocks, should we invest in that game server token that they're going to sell next week?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
I don't think that would fly at all.
All right, guys. This was a lot of fun. Thanks for walking me through and sharing conversation. And I'd spoken to Jim, I think 2 days ago on the phone, because I'm just pretty resourceful and I'm aggressive. But that was a great conversation. And thanks for welcoming me yesterday on the debrief, Jim. And Gary, nice to message you in the YouTube yesterday, and nice to talk to you today. So
yes,
it's been a nice intimate setting, and this for me it's a little daunting, but I'm glad I started to read that textbook on the computer, and it's really not so bad. I'm starting to get it. I'm sure there's a lot to learn, and I'm excited to continue. And it's fun now that I get to know Jim and I know you, Gary, and it's getting to be more fun. So that's cool.
Great.
Yeah, well, we want to have fun and earn rocks, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And we do have a budget in amps, actually, which we could certainly convert them to rocks without a problem, because we have a lot of rocks too. But,
what's the amp budget?
35. Well, it's for Divi. It's not all for RChain. It's for DiviDAO.org, and it's 35,000 amps.
And is the conversion process from amps to rocks, is that just on the exchanges? You have to find people who are willing to buy amps in exchange for their rocks?
Well, there was a one-time conversion of amp to rock, but from now on, it's you buy it with whatever you have to buy it with.
And but basically, RChain Fan, who is our main donator, he's an officer of an international bank out of Singapore. Never answered whether, said, do what you want. He didn't say whether he wanted the amps converted to rocks or not. And since I have a lot of rocks, I can personally provide rocks for people who want rocks and take the amps. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, but I don't understand.
I've been buying rocks to try to help create the market. I'm really a sucker, because the intention is that people who have rocks can buy bread. People getting paid in rocks can buy bread. I feel an obligation to buy some. But I know that the traders are the ones that are running away with the profits.
How much is rock right now?
Let's take a look. Let's go to, I'm opening another tab. Oh, I'm not sharing either. Shouldn't have been sharing when we were talking. Okay. We go to Ether Delta. And we're looking at rocks to ETH here. And I don't know, I get really stupid when it comes to numbers and figuring stuff out, but it looks like if we wanted to buy rocks right now, the price is 0.0047, which is about 25 cents or something. I don't know. 250 times 0.000. 47. That's 11 cents a piece.
But is Ethereum at 250?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So I guess these are people who are paid in rocks and just need some bread, huh?
It could be. It could be.
It could be. It could be the co-op selling rocks to raise some cash.
I doubt it.
Like 10 bucks?
I had some rocks in there. I was selling rocks at like much higher, and they all sold. I have no order. All my orders were filled. So I got a gazillion rocks now. So I have to put some more sell orders, and I'll do that right now. I'm going to sell 10,000 of them.
For how many cents? 25 cents?
Something like that. I'm confused.
It's my understanding that the holdings company has 100 million rocks, and there are about 10 million other rocks in circulation for a total of 110 million rocks. Is that about right?
It sounds about right.
So I'm going to put them, I want to put them at something higher. I'm going to put them at 0.005, which maybe higher.
That's a lot. That's like $1.
Well, let's look at my transaction history and see what I sold them for before. 0.05. Okay, these guys are trying to sell rocks. They may need to live. I don't want to undersell them.
Right.
I want to support the market. And I have made out like a bandit doing this. Not being greedy has really paid off. Of course, buying rocks, I am somewhat of a sucker. And so parity kicks in here. And I put in my passcode. Hello. Okay. And an order should come up. What did it say? The order didn't go through. What happened? I know what's wrong. I rebooted my machine and I didn't start parity. I don't know how it came up, why it came up. Where the heck is my parity window?
Are you liking Windows 10, Jim?
Yeah, I like it. Okay, see, I have another one of these open here.
Do I need to download parity too?
Yeah, you're gonna want parity as your Ethereum wallet. That's what we're using right now.
Their browser, their wallet, or both?
There's a difference?
Maybe there's no difference.
The wallet is a browser, as far as I know.
Okay. I don't know.
So, I'm looking to where I have parity ready. I can't find it. I have parity here. It says connected to mainnet. So I don't know what happened. It's running. Okay, I could just click it and it started. But I don't like to open two windows of parity because I'm nervous because I've been burned with other distributed apps. But you see, this runs a server on your own machine. Runs a parity server.
All right. Well, I've learned a lot. I think I'm gonna kind of sign off in the next couple minutes and try and put into implementation everything I learned.
All right.
Is there a meeting tomorrow at 9 a.m.?
Yeah, I will be there. I mean, because of low turnout, we stopped running it. I mean, I've been there I haven't advertised it because I didn't have enough interest to really fill the Thursday meeting many times. And, sometimes we've got a good coach. We've got Kent or other people coaching in there, and that's been good. But I can't remember. AB was going to coach on the Friday mornings and never showed up.
Okay.
He couldn't make this time. So we set that up for him.
So I think I'll try to make it and update you on my progress this evening today. And even if we don't spend a lot of time, it'll be good to check in. If I can't make it, I'll try and let you know.
Okay. Very good. We'll see how you get to then. In any case, I'll probably just have the room open.
Sounds good.
All right.
Later.
Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye.